Welcome to the Line Podcast with me, Tom Waller, and Lee Lawton. Very excited to be back with you today. Lee, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm really good. Excited for today's discussion because we're going to be talking about morning routines, and I believe that this podcast is personal development based podcast, and I would say the morning routine is arguably the most important part of personal development.
I 100% agree. I could riff on this for a long time.
Yeah.
But I suppose let's open it with what your morning routine is, and then we'll discuss the importance of morning routines, and then see if mine's any good compared to yours.
Yeah. So my morning starts at 4:30. I get up. I go to the bathroom. I pee. I weigh in.
Yeah.
I weigh in every morning because I'm on a cut at the moment and trying to lose some weight. I weigh in, I head downstairs, I make a coffee, and I read. So the first part of my morning routine really is to read, and I read a minimum of 10 pages. Usually I get a bit more carried away than that and end up reading a bit more.
Yeah.
When I've done that, I journal. I journal after I read because I like to take what I've learned and put it into some sort of practice and something relevant to my life. Then I meditate. It's not always, it's different. I do different meditations. Sometimes I'll stare at a candle. Sometimes I'll just sit in silence. Sometimes I'll even do guided meditations, but usually only about 15 minutes, just some time, because I feel like if you don't take some time to not think, you are always thinking. Even when you're sleeping, your mind is going. So I just like some time to clear my mind. Then when I've done that, I'll head upstairs, take a shower, have a cold shower. So I always have a hot shower. Then I do about 2 minutes of cold shower straight after. Then get dressed. I have a face routine, skincare and that kind of thing. Downstairs, pack a bag for work in the gym, and
You're
out the door.
I love it. And is that the same every day?
Yeah, I take my vitamins and prep my protein shakes as well.
Same on the weekend?
Same on a weekend. Yeah, same every day.
Yeah.
Always the same. Sometimes it's longer than other times.
Yeah.
So I think yesterday or the day before, I got carried away with my meditation and was sat for an hour.
Wow.
But I started meditating in 2014, and I did it every day for about 3 or 4 years. I used to meditate for 2 hours at a time.
My mind would just be like, shit, Tom, you got stuff to do.
Yeah,
like, that's
I know.
what I struggle with.
Yeah, it's true, but I find that I have to, I like to, sometimes you just need to take 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. Sometimes just sit, and the benefits for me, I've had anger issues in the past. I've had intrusive thoughts. I've been unable to manage my emotions throughout life quite often, and it really helps me take care of all that and manage it.
I saw you staring at a candle the other day. You did a little thing. Explain that to me, because I've never done that.
So it's just, usually I just close my eyes and I focus on my breathing. So when I meditate, I count to 10 and I do in 1, out 2, in 3, out 4 to 10, and I start again. And I just focus on my breath.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes people say, I don't know what to think about. And sometimes when I meditate, I think, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. That's all.
That's what you think about?
Yeah, because so many people think that you need to just not think about anything, but it's not about that. It's about the thoughts coming in. So also on meditations, I will, have you seen Minority Report?
Yes.
So I will see my thoughts as slides on that Minority Report thing.
Yeah.
And then I just swipe them away in my mind, swipe them away.
I use balloons.
Yeah.
You let the balloon fly away.
Yeah. But the candle is more of an open-eyed meditation and just focusing on one thing, and there's no thought. I'm just directly staring at that candle and engrossed in it. And those candles are meditation candles. They're about this big. They burn for about 20 minutes. And then they're done.
I have to try that. When did you start morning routine?
It's been under development for about 9 years, probably. So probably 2013, 2014 was when I first got into personal development, and immediately I started crafting a morning routine, and it's changed over the years from different things to stretches and exercising and loads of different things I've implemented. I've had morning routines that took me till lunchtime. I've had morning routines that took me 5 minutes.
And I think that's important. That's an important thing to mention because like they do adapt and change.
Yeah.
Like big time.
For
So
sure.
phase in life. The simple one for me is summer and winter morning routines change a lot.
Yeah.
Like to do with daylight.
Yeah.
So in the summer, my morning routine will probably take me outside more. And in the winter, it's a bit more in. And depending on like what phase of my life, whether I'm traveling, whether I am in practice all day, or whether I've got a day at home, there's things that will stay the same, which I call non-negotiables, but then the morning routine will just develop and adapt slightly.
Yeah.
I think around that.
You've inspired me to add something to my morning routine lately.
What's that?
Grounding.
Grounding, yeah.
You mentioned it on your story that you were grounding in the mornings.
Yeah.
And then I watched I saw something online the other day, and it showed heat signature charts of the body and inflammation.
Yeah.
And the difference between someone who was grounded and not grounded, and they had big red, the ungrounded one, big red area in the middle, and then they grounded for a certain amount of time, and it was totally green and yellow. And I also saw a thing that said we used to have wooden shoes, and the current modern shoe that we have separates us from the earth.
Yes, because you got the rubber sole.
Yeah,
so
we are all made of the same stuff.
Yeah.
The earth and us, and I think that connectivity to the ground is
it's paramount. Like it's so important for health.
important.
Like, I mean, it's really important for health. And for me, I notice the difference if I don't do it of a morning. Like if I'm in a hotel or something, I'll try and get outside and go barefoot for a period of time.
I've done it 3 or 4 times, I think, so far, every day with my morning routine. About 10 minutes just walking around the garden, barefoot, and I've noticed it. I've had better bowel movements in the mornings.
Yeah.
I've had just more energy.
How important is that? Like that's
Very.
detoxification.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you know, if you haven't had a shit for like a day or so, your mind is fucked.
Yeah.
It's such an important thing to do.
So true. What about your morning routine?
My morning routine has developed over time, but there are some non-negotiables in my morning routine. Water, prayer, and gratitude are the non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Which means if I wake up on a plane, I can do it.
Yeah.
Like so, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
My regular morning routine is I normally bring round to consciousness before my alarm goes off, but I have quite a very calm alarm, and I'll turn it off. And the first thing I'll do is say to myself, "Today's going to be a great day." I do have an undertone of belief, so I thank God for what He's brought me today. Then I will drink a pint of water as I sit on the side of the bed. Before I then move downstairs, I let my dog out, and when I let my dog out, that's when I go and stand barefoot on the ground, and I chant to myself, "I am the best, I can achieve anything." Just to myself, in my mind, bare feet on the ground, in the morning, even if it's pissing with rain or pitch black. I then go inside, and I will have some apple cider vinegar with water to alkalize, and then I sit and I read for about half an hour. Then I do my shower, which is normally cold, get ready, and leave the house. So that's my normal morning routine. I'm currently in a phase similar to you, getting up at 4:30 to get that done, and that's on a work day or a non-work day. The only thing that might change on a non-work day is my wife's biggest value is quality time. So I might choose to stay in bed a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it starts going to be on 5 o'clock. I'm getting itchy feet, but I've spent a bit of extra time.
Yeah.
I will still do the feet outside, the water, and the reading.
So a couple of things that I picked up there, that I do implement into mine, but it's made me just realise maybe I could do slightly better, is the water. When I take my vitamins, I drink a pint of water.
Yeah.
But I could probably shift that sooner.
Yes.
And have it earlier, as soon as I'm awake. Chug some water.
At night, you give out so much moisture. Like when you breathe, you're expelling so much moisture. Yeah. The best way to know is if you've got a sick house plant, put it in your bedroom. Okay. You'll notice it will thrive because the amount of moisture and carbon dioxide that you breathe out, that plant thrives.
Okay.
So you're so dehydrated, and your brain, therefore, is sluggish. So water ignites the brain and rehydrates the body first thing.
I just smash a coffee in the morning first thing.
Most people do. Just
yeah.
So do I, but the pint of water
Yeah.
before I've even stood up from the bed is my routine.
Okay. And then the second thing I wanted to ask you about was that apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
I tried apple cider vinegar once when I was in Thailand, and I drank about this much.
You idiot.
And it nearly killed me.
You idiot.
It nearly killed me. I thought I was going to die. My throat was on fire. So how much do you have? Do you mix it with water?
I now do free pour, but I would say a tablespoon.
Yeah.
Mix it with water.
Yeah.
So I have about half a pint of water with the apple cider vinegar, and I'll take any supplements I'm taking with that.
Okay. And why?
It's been shown to be really good anti-cancerous, really good anti-inflammatory, and really good at alkalizing. It's just such a great reset for the body.
Cool. I'm going to get some. The whole morning routine, every single step of it is about stacking wins for me. Like just doing those things in order and having all those wins stacked. You said to me the other last week, I think, feels like my mornings are super busy and super productive and structured, and then the afternoons.
Well, if you look at my days, like I write my whole week out almost hour by hour every. We just do an episode on that every Sunday, and my mornings are like intense. If you were to look at it, but then the back end of the day is calm. Now the reason this works so well, and especially why it's important that you do some prayer, you do some affirmation, you do some writing, you read positive stuff. There is a science to how important this is, because people say, I've tried affirmations, I've tried gratitude, it just doesn't work for me. I say, well, when did you try it? I tried it at lunchtime, or I tried it in the morning or in the evening. It doesn't work. So the reason it works and doesn't work is to do with our brainwave states. We have 4 brainwave states, and obviously when we're asleep compared to when we're awake, 2 very different. But there's 2 that we move through between being asleep and awake, and they're called alpha and theta. Alpha and theta are our creative brainwave states. They are also our most suggestible. So you go and see a stage hypnotist. The reason they can make you do whatever they want you to do is because they put you into a theta brainwave state.
Okay.
If you get in a shower, a nice warm shower, creative thoughts come to you.
Yep.
And that's because you're in a theta brainwave state. So you are most suggestible first thing in the morning, and I love this way of doing it. People are so freaking negative these days, and there's no wonder why. You are the most suggestible in the morning. Most people's morning wake up with an alarm. They hit the alarm and go, fuck off, I want to sleep. Negative thought in the mind straight away. Now, you might be a positive person, you might go to the window, hallelujah, and you're really happy that you've woken up that morning. You then go down and put the news on. And when was the last time you saw any good news? It doesn't exist. Again, a negative thought when you're most suggestible.
Yeah.
You might be like you and I and don't watch the news.
Nope.
Good on you.
Yeah.
And then you pick up your phone, you scroll through social media, and no one liked your comment. And now you're doubting yourself negatively in the most suggestible state. So my suggestion to you is that you actually use that time where you're most suggestible, which is in the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking, you're in alpha and theta. Use that time to suggest to your mind who you want to be, what you want to achieve, and what you are grateful for. That is why people come up to you and I and go, how are you so happy and positive all the time? It's because I've created that. And then when I'm out of alpha and theta and I'm into an awake state, you can't penetrate that.
No.
It can't get into the subconscious.
So true. So true. What is the most important part of your morning routine? Would you say it's that? Would you say it's that prepping yourself and feeding your mind what it needs?
The most important thing in my morning routine is what I've conditioned myself to say first thing in the morning: today's going to be a great day. Every single time my mind wakes up, it's conditioned that it's the first thing. So everywhere I wake up, anytime I wake up, today's going to be a great day. That's the most important thing.
I like
because
that.
if I've said that to myself, I've affirmed it to be true. Shit might hit the fan as soon as my feet touch the ground, but I've said that. So that is the most important part of my morning routine.
Nice.
Yours?
Probably my meditation, probably just my time to take time away and not think. I've been through all kinds of things in life, and they're always on your mind, different things, and if I don't take that time to meditate, I find that my day doesn't go as well.
So true. What I find is a common excuse is time. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time for a morning routine. I've got kids and a family. I'm like, cool. I've yet to experience that, but I do have a kid in the way, so I'm looking forward to proving you all very wrong.
Yeah.
But I teach a simple morning routine to people, which is hydrate, move, and affirm. 3 things. And you can do this in 2 minutes or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You could do 2 minutes of drinking water, 2 minutes of movement, 2 minutes of affirming. That's 6 minutes. When you wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom, pretend you're taking a 6-minute shit, and literally drink a pint of water, march on the spot, and tell yourself you're going to have a great day. You've got a morning routine there done, and no inconvenience to anything else.
No.
There is literally no excuse.
No time. And people tell me, oh, how do you get up? Ask me, how do you get up at 4:30 every day? I can't get up at that time. And I say, I wouldn't be able to if I went to bed at the time you go to bed.
Yeah, true.
I go to bed at 9 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
Sometimes 8:30.
Yeah, when it starts to get 9:30, I'm like, this is late.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
like,
too.
this is getting late.
Only because I know it's going to make it more difficult in the morning. I know that I need a certain amount of sleep, just as everybody does. Everybody's slightly different, but I saw a thing that said, consistently, there is not a single human that can function consistently, productively on less than 6 hours a night.
Yeah, so I have just stopped, but I was wearing my Whoop for a while, and my recovery is always really good. Like even though I might get to bed at 9, 9:30, I'm up at 4:30, 6-ish hours that I'm sleeping, 6.5 hours normally, fine. That's why I love, but I dislike working in the States. Because they're behind.
Yeah.
And you end up staying to what you think is like super late in the evening.
Oh, right.
Just totally messes your mind. Whereas if we drop into Europe, they're an hour ahead, it's like winning. Like hour ahead before bed, it's great.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, how would you recommend someone get started on a morning routine? But you've kind of already answered that with the quick.
Yeah, I would simply say, condition yourself. And it's not going to happen overnight, that every time you wake up you say to yourself, today's going to be a great day. Condition yourself to do that. Today's going to be a great day. You'll wake up and go, Tuesday, today's going to be a great day. Wednesday, today's going to be a great day. And you just keep that going until it becomes the first thought.
Yeah.
And you have to be relentless with that. Then I'd have a pint of water beside your bed and I'd drink that before you get up. There are 2 things that you've done well for yourself. And then I'd probably try and cultivate some time where you're saying what you're grateful for and some reading to start off with.
Yeah, so there's a lot of little things that you mentioned that because the morning routine changes and progresses over time, I do gratitude when I brush my teeth, but it's so natural to me that I just didn't mention it when I said my morning routine. Yeah. There's loads of little things.
True, there's lots of little things.
And then the affirmations, I'll listen to something in the shower. That's a recent addition, something that I've recently added in. And they're usually I am statements. Because I've recently been reading a lot of Neville Goddard and this I am, the consciousness and the one connectedness that we've all got within us.
And I would say that there is importance to starting your morning routine and committing to running with it for a period of time.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about adapting it as people who've done it for a very long time.
Yeah, and it does take.
It does, and I'd say you've got to commit to something that you're going to continue for a month. And then refigure it out, including weekends. And I think we mentioned on the previous podcast, the 5 a.m. club. If you're thinking about starting morning routines, it's a great place to start with your learning and with your reading.
Yeah, and I think we'll do a future podcast on self-sovereignty and working for yourself, because I think a lot of people probably are working a job listening to this that they don't necessarily love, and I think the barrier to entry to be self-employed now is lower than ever, but it's definitely not easy. It's an extremely difficult thing to do, but my morning routine is easier and more enjoyable because I love what I do in the day. And I think those two kind of go hand in hand. So I'd like to talk, and I know that you obviously love what you do, and in a later episode I'd like to talk about self-employment and business but
I would touch on that though, and I
Yeah.
would call people out a little bit and like stop blaming your work for everything.
Mm.
Like, you've got to love yourself first
True.
before you then take the step to do something by yourself.
This is true.
And you can choose to let another day go by hating your existence and what you do, or you can choose to say, at the moment, I'm working this job, but I'm going to start working on myself, and I'm going to show up a better version of me, and just start that process of being able to either enjoy what you do or move out of it.
So true. And yeah, and the reading in the morning, that will be the catalyst to moving on to something else that you love, because that's how you learn, or that's how you get the knowledge or the skills to make that next step or that change.
I distinctly remember getting to my 30th birthday, and I was sitting there doing some work, and I said, I am a third of the way through my life and I have nothing to show for it. And I think that's what really started this whole process off. I was like, I need to change something. And I think that spurred this whole sort of personal development push and growth.
So what else can we say about the morning routine?
I would say the most important thing is just to commit to doing it.
Yeah.
Don't care about what your significant other or someone else is going to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that 6-minute one in the bathroom on your own, no one needs to know you're doing it.
No.
Like, I've done talks to big corporations and I tell them the morning routine, they all laugh, and then I give them that 6-minute one and say, no one needs to know you're doing it. And the amount of people who email me or come up to me afterwards and say, thank you, I can do that, it's amazing. So it really is just about starting, committing to it, and understanding that you are in control of your life and how you want it to go. And start on the front foot, don't start on the back foot.
Yeah, I don't understand why someone would be embarrassed about doing a morning routine or not able to do it.
Society, we're conditioned to care about what other people think. We're so conditioned to worry about what someone else thinks about us.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of that as well, but I'm proud of my morning routine. Like, I share mine online quite a lot, quite often, in the hopes that it will inspire someone else to implement something and maybe have a better day.
And I know you feel this as well, like selfishly, because you're up at 4:30, no one else is, you're winning.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're winning.
Yeah.
Like, bring it on. If you weren't up at the same time as me, you're going to lose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've always got a step up. And it's about also giving some time to yourself before everyone's awake, before you give anything to the world, because you are, when you're in a job of service and you're trying to help people like this and like what we do for work, you need some time to give to yourself in the morning before you start giving your energy away.
It's true. We're all in service in some shape or form. It's the only reason we do what we do. Ayn Rand, a great philosopher, she said, take care of me for you and I'll take care of you for me. Take care of me for you and take care of you for me, if I said that right. Essentially, selfishly look after yourself, and if we all did that, we'd contribute to a higher and better purpose in life.
Yeah, we'd be better positioned to help others.
And I think, one thing I wanted to say on that, you said there, like, before we go out in service of others, you take the Buddhist monks example. So the Buddhist monks, they spend the first half of the day in serving themselves. They do their meditation, they do their gratitude, they do their food, do their exercise, and the second half of their day in service. And what they're saying there is they put their armour on first, mentally, physically, so that they can then go out into the world that is potentially going to be negative and stand stronger and serve better as a result.
Amazing. Cool. So if you are not trying a morning routine, or if you don't have a morning routine, you have been given a perfect 6-minute morning routine today. So give that a go and let us know in the comments. These videos are shared on YouTube. If not in full, then clips and snippets. But let us know how you get on with your morning routine in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or want us to cover anything on the podcast, leave it in the comments on YouTube or emails. They will be in the description everywhere. So please drop us a message. Please do feel free to share and subscribe to this podcast, and we will speak to you and see you in the next one. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.